That tall, gangly thing?
Hello and welcome. Today I'm joined by one of Europe's best players. It's the Innovator Supreme himself. It's DEISIK. DEISIK, thank you so much for being here. How you doing?
Yeah. Hello, and thanks for inviting me to that.
Now, first things first. For anyone who may not be as familiar with who you are, why don't you just go ahead first and tell me a little bit about yourself?
I'm just a TFT player from Russia who mostly to play on US server, and I have some achievements on NA server as well. And I did pretty well in some specific sets, and current set on PBE there is a tournament with open qualifications and invites, and I win it somehow. I don't know how, but yeah, I guess.
Now, yeah, I mean, you mentioned it before, you've been playing PBE. Set 6 releases tomorrow. If you guys are watching this interview today, this is the day before Set 6 comes out. Now, DEISIK, you've been playing quite a bit of PBE. You played in the tournament. I'd love to hear what your thoughts are on the new set so far.
Yeah, I think it will be a really fun set to play. There is a lot of exciting combos you can get with different arguments and stuff. So it will be, every game should be feel different if you will not spam games like Madman every day. So it will be a really fun game to play for a long time. And I hope with new patches we will be get into balance, into better balance in the set, and it will be really great for competitive as well.
Now, you competed in the PBE Clash, which, I mean, it was a tournament that started right after the set hit PBE. What was it like actually competing in a tournament, having so little experience in a set?
It was really fun because you probably expect from players to just force one comp, and everyone just going crazy rolls at level 7, level 8, and and going for specific units and stuff. And I'm just sit here and try to play my normal games with whatever I hit and stuff. And overall, I really enjoy playing this tournament, and I'm happy with my performance on it. I think I was learning it really fast somehow. I don't know how, but yeah.
Now, the Hextech Augments, it's a pretty different set mechanic than anything else we've actually seen. How do you think it compares to set mechanics of the past?
I think it's a refresh game even more than Galaxies was in set 3. And at the moment, you can get some super crazy scenarios when you can get triple same argument and stuff and just make your day playing only one game of TFT and stuff. So I think it will be really good and for competitive and for casual players.
If you had to rank all the set mechanics we've seen so far, how would you rank them?
I think I like set 2 most with Ocean Hexes and Lux. After that, I will say it's probably set 6 with arguments, even we play it for less time. After that, it should be Galaxies, the whole set 3. And now it's kind of hard, to choose between Chosen and Shadow and Radiant items. I think I will put Shadow and Radiant items after Galaxies, and the Chosen will be my least favorite.
It's so interesting to see. I feel like there are a lot of top players that I've heard say, "Oh, Chosen was my favorite mechanic," or so a lot of people who say set 2 didn't feel great. It is really weird to see such a diverse, set of thoughts among the top players. That's one of the cool things about TFT. I think that there's no real correct answer, and it really does come down to playstyle and how you prefer to see the game. Now,
yeah, I agree with that.
One of the things, no, you're good. One of the things about TFT that people have talked about a lot is the European competitive scene has not always been up to the same standard as North America. There's been a lot of criticism on the European format, but in set 6, new format's been announced before the set even came to launch, which is a great, that's great news in of itself. You have open qualifiers, you have the cups, you have ladder points, you have this new brawl countrywide tournament. What are your thoughts on the new format?
It's a really good step like into right direction, in my opinion. We have almost everything like what NA going to have as well in set 6. With like lower like press pools, but it doesn't really matter. It's just like attention what you would like are going to give to players, and give them like room to play like this specific tournaments, or even like spam other games if you want. So, and everything was on point, and they really like to hear our feedback on it as well in Discord server. So I think it will be really great, and I'm looking forward to I'll play on all these like tournaments, and also I'm going to climb like US ladder.
Yep, very nice. Is there anything besides, I know you said the prize pools you wish they were a little higher. Is there anything about the format that you would change if you could?
I will maybe give like more slots into U West and force some like all good players to play on only one server, because at the moment there is no like a single like reason actually to play, for example, on Rus server or like Turkish server, because all like they're like all their like good players play on U West anyways, and yeah, it just in my opinion, like should be a bit less spots for like Nordic East server and for Turkish server, and make more slots into US.
So for people like me from North America, a lot of North American players who aren't top of the ladder may not quite understand exactly how that all works. So in Europe, you've got multiple different servers. There's EU West, EU what is it? EU Nordic. There's RU. So can you kind of talk a little bit about how have you actually qualified for Worlds in the past? Do you actually play on EU West, or do you play on the Russian server?
Like past all 3 sets, I forced it to play on Rus server, and it was kind of depressing to play actually, because on high levels there isn't enough players, and there is super long queues when you like need to focus, because if you're going to lose, you lose all your progress and stuff. And and with these changes, like what they made in this set, I can play US ladder and not need to play Rus server.
So you can still technically qualify through EU West. Like if you qualify on EU West, you can still get that spot. You've just played on the RU server in the past because it's the closest server to you. Is that why?
Yeah, like, and there was no other like no other like scenarios when you can play on any different server, because it's like real like politics about that. I don't remember like what exactly, but yeah.
Gotcha. Okay. Yeah, that would be an interesting change. So wait, so the change you're proposing is to actually allow everybody to qualify through EU West and have more slots. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, exactly.
Ah, it'd be interesting. Yeah. It definitely is very strange to see just, the difference between the North American versus European scene and kind of all the politics and like the whatever little rules about the scene that kind of change. Now, with that said, on the topic of Worlds qualification, you have been on the cusp of qualifying for Worlds multiple times. I mean, 19th in this past set, but I mean, set 3, you were 4th place in the regional finals, 1 spot off. I don't know exactly what the point threshold was, but you were right there, just barely fell short. So I have to ask, what would it mean to you to actually qualify for Worlds in set 6?
It's like probably I can like I'll prove myself I can do that, and it will be really good to represent like my country on TFT like global championship, and the proof like there is a game exist in our region and we still have good players, and it will be really good to see.
Now, obviously there's so much talent. The talent pool of Europe really does run deep. I mean, we saw that in set 5 regionals, where we saw a lot of names kind of come out of the woodwork, and some of the big names that people thought were going to do well and qualify for Worlds didn't quite make it. I want to ask you, who are some of the dark horses from Europe that you think are going to break out in set 6?
It's kind of like hard to say some specific names, but I think now when we have like more money on the line, and you can actually play the whole set like to get you all progress together, should be like new good players come like maybe join from other like auto battlers and stuff like that. So I think we will like most likely to see at least like 2 or 3 good players with like no names for us and stuff.
Now that everything we're talking about right now is in the standard free for all format, but another thing that's coming to TFT in Set 6 is this duo mode. I believe it's called Double Up. Now, duos is something that's been experimented with in competitive, but hasn't quite been seen as a staple format. I want to ask you, do you think that duos is going to be a popular competitive format? And if it is, what would it actually take for it to become more popular?
I think it will be really hard like to make it balanced for competitive. It should be like for fun mode in my opinion, when you can actually like enjoy your time like with your friend and help each other like do well in the game and stuff. But I don't see how you can make it competitive. And honestly, like they don't need to like try to do that, because we have like already like 1 versus 7 mod, right, which is like normal game of TFT, and like second like duo mod should be just for fun, in my opinion.
Yeah, I know. Whenever I feel like when everybody was reading the description of duo mode and they saw the line about your teammates' units coming onto your board to fight the enemy as well, I think everybody just like their eyes widened and they just like gasped, like, "Oh no! Like, what is this doing?" But I think there is an argument to be said about the format being more effective when it is for fun. Have you actually competed in any 2v2 or team based tournaments in the past?
Yeah, I think it's like my last 2 versus tournament I played on set 2 with News.
Oh wow!
It's a player like who quit already TFT a long time ago. So
Okay. What were your thoughts on 2v2 back when you played it then?
it was really fun because there was super less like tournaments in general, and it was really good to like play on full focus and try to win like every round and like maximize every like decisions you want to make and stuff.
Now, one of the things you mentioned before is that with the increased prize pool, this may draw more people into TFT. But what it also does is, if we can get more attention to TFT, then maybe there's more money in general, maybe there's more viewership on Twitch. That kind of enables people to kind of think a little bit more long-term with TFT. And with that said, I want to ask you, do you have any long-term goals or plans with TFT?
I think it's a really good game, like in my opinion, to stream, because you can actually answer all questions in chat and like pay attention not only on game, and that's also like I like my type of game when you just play like solo mode, and I like easily prove like you're just like one of the best players in the specific regions and stuff. So I think I would like to play TFT for a long time, and it will be really good for me to make it to Worlds at least once.
Now, I hope you do. I think there's a lot of people who really do believe that your time is coming. You're definitely due for a World Championship qualification. And with that said, we're going to move on to the next section of this interview, which is the Twitter questions. And if you guys want to have your questions featured, make sure you guys follow me on Twitter so that you see who the next interview is going to be so you can get your questions in. But this first question is coming from Sunflower, who asks, do you think 20 is a good amount of players to have at Worlds? Do you think that having more players at the tournament would be more engaging for fans?
I think it's basically depends if there will be a LAN tournament or online tournament, because it's really hard to make like more people join into offline tournament, right? But with like all this Corona stuff, it's kind of impossible. So I think they should increase amount of like players in the final stage, because like you can say there is gonna be um, like more players with a lot of like community can like make it into worlds and just make like TFT like more popular in specific regions around, right? If there will be some like players from them.
And then the next question we actually have coming from @Hardva Forever, who says, how does tournament play compared to solo queue? Is it the same, or is there some difference the average player may not be conscious of?
I think it's only depends. In ladder, you understand if you're going to boot 4, you're going to lose LP, and it's all what you care about, right? And you can actually greet in specific moments, or like play super greedy, just I will like life on 1 HP, but I'm going to build Exodia comp and stuff like that. In tournament, as this profile will doesn't work, and you need to focus like to get top 4 every game pretty much, and you not should care about to win a game, because difference between, for example, like top 4 and top 5 most of the time it's already 2 points, which is a lot in a short distance.
So last year, I interviewed Gunmei, one of the Swedish players, who for a long time, I'm not sure if you're familiar with this, but he competed in Fight Night, was the win. It actually still is the winningest player in Fight Night history with I believe it was like a 14-week top 3 streak. And he talked a lot about how the thing about tournament is that it opens up this there's more room for preparation. He said that when he wanted to keep playing on Fight Night, he would spend time learning the other players' openers. He would know what was going to be contested in the lobbies. When you go into tournament, do you actually spend time paying attention to your lobbies or looking at the other players, or do you think it's more important to just look at your game?
I think it's more important to focus only on yourself and like how you know exactly what to do at every like stages of the game, because like you can't find all info about the players. You can only look at their like votes on Twitch, right? For example, because we don't have like any some sort of replays yet, so it's not give you a lot of info about that, and you don't need to have that info in your head as well when you're going to join a lobby. At Worlds, it's kind of different because you can see like most likely like what comp your opponents are going to play, like for example like EP comps or AD comps, right? And you can adapt to that. But like more than that is kind of pointless in my opinion.
Well, DEISIK, that's actually all the questions I did have for you. So before we go, is there anything that you wanted to shout out?
Nah, like honestly, not really. It just like watch me on Twitch, I guess, for like the next few days. I'm going to like try to get first challenger on US probably, if I will have really good opener for opener. Like like really good like start with my like ladder games. And that's all I guess.
Alrighty. All right. Well, again, DEISIK, thank you so much for being here. And for everyone who's watched this interview all the way through the end, thank you guys so much. For more TFT coverage and content, make sure you guys subscribe. And if you want your Twitter questions answered, make sure you follow me on Twitter so you can see who the next interview is, so you can get those questions in and have them in the video. All right. Well, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll catch you next time.